Now, the differences between compressed and uncompressed lossless audio files are only
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is John here. Catch the moon. Bright and shiny morning. Actually, it's not so bright over here. It's a little overcast in Los Angeles, but we're so happy to have we have Stephan Pine joining us here. How's it going, man?
Hey, dude. How you guys doing?
Good. Is it Stephan or Stephen?
Do not go Stephen.
Okay, all right.
No, it could go two ways. Stephan or Stephan is fine.
All right, great.
Not Stephen. I've been called Stephen my entire life.
Oh man, yeah. Well. First thing that I was like, I gotta make sure I pronounce his name right. So gotta get things started off to the right foot, right? How's it going, man?
Good. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna kill my email so you guys don't hear that going on the whole time. And hey, just real quick, a warning. I don't think it'll happen, but my Mac is like deciding to freeze on me once a day. So if you lose me, I'll be back in like a minute and a half.
Sounds good. We'll hang with you.
Yeah, it happened during my fantasy draft, and it was.
Oh, that's the worst.
I was okay though. I made it out.
You didn't have to auto pick or anything?
No, thank God.
Okay, good. End up with somebody injured or something.
Exactly.
All right, man. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to read a couple things just about what you do, just to introduce everybody who's with you.
How many people are we chatting with today?
Right now, we got 50. I'm sure that number will.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Yeah. So we have so many people here who are super excited to hear your insights on all this.
I will do my best.
Well, give me just a sec here, and I'll read off a couple things about you here. So a little bit about what Stephan does: music supervision, creative song placement for on-air marketing integration, executive duties on various pilots and current television shows. Meets with composers to discuss interpretations of their work and develop creative tones for content. Develop, design, or create new applications, ideas, relationships, systems, or products, including artistic contributions, and negotiates music rights and licensing fees as manager at Disney ABC Television Group. Is there anything you'd want to add to that in terms of what your day-to-day is?
Yeah, the day-to-day, we got a pretty small group over here, and as ABC, I'm part of the studio side of ABC, so we are content creators. So We have about 32 or so productions currently that are either for the network, ABC, or I work hand in hand with Marvel for some Hulu stuff, Showtime, HBO. So we're just like an overall content provider, and me in my role here as manager is that I oversee a various amount of projects. And like you mentioned, I hire the music supervisors. I'll do in-house supervision, mostly like on the Marvel stuff. That's kind of been my MO. And hire the soups, hire the composers, hire the music editors. We'll even go as far as contracting, band members to perform on camera. So I work with the AFM and SAG and handle all that stuff too. So and there's boring stuff too, like budgets and finance. I got to report stuff to lawyers and all that fun jazz. It's the corporate. It's the reason why like all our big music supervisors aren't in house, because I do everything basically, and it's great though. It's cool. I've been doing it my whole career.
Oh man, it sounds like you did get to do quite a bit of the cool, fun, creative stuff as well, though. In the midst of all the like kind of boring business.
Yeah. I mean, I've been here. January will be 13 years, so like I'm part of the pilot process. I don't know if the viewers understand. Like when a television show is birthed, it starts with one episode, and every year I work on about 7 to 8 pilots a year. Some of them don't get picked up and some don't. So, I've over the course of my lifetime here, I mean, God, I've seen, I don't know, like near 40 or so pilots, and it's a cool process because it's a script, and then, I interpret the script, what I read, like, and work with the producers on what they want musically. And then you see it all come down, and they shoot it, and then we're in post-production, and you see the final product, and keeping your fingers crossed it gets picked up. But I've seen a lot of content, needless to say.
Just a question on the pilot front. When music gets placed onto a pilot,
yes.
Does it count as a placement even if the episode never airs? How does that work?
Unfortunately, it does not. So in order, it's as far as our business, the way we do things here, placements and sync fees don't occur until the show actually airs. So yeah, it's unfortunate. We get a lot of excitement when I'm like, hey, I got your song in a pilot, and then they're like, oh man, well it's didn't get picked up, and I was like, do I still get paid? And I got to be the bearer of bad news and be like, nah, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. But for all you looking, that if you get a song in a pilot, you just hope it gets picked up, because that's how you get paid.
Yeah, there's definitely some crossing of the fingers that happens in this industry.
Yeah, sure.
How many? So I think you said something like 32 shows you're working on at any given time a year.
The number's increasing every year. I mean, if I knew off the top of my head, I think right now we're at about 33 productions. I just currently just started working on a pilot. So I'm doing pilots in the middle of fall. Like, that used to never be a thing. Pilot season for me was always February through April, and then your summers were off, and then you're back in fall for like fall launch and all that stuff like that. So it's becoming a year-round process, and it's cool with all the cable networks and all these new streaming platforms. Luckily for all the artists out there, I mean, it's gonna be it's going to be a busy time and open, and it's going to allow opportunities, for more song placements and upcoming composers as well. I'm excited for the composer front. There's so many good people out there, and, so many big names saturating the market, that this is going to allow, some new faces pop up and whatnot. So, but yeah, at the time, we're around like 33. I think I'm like covering 6 or 7 right now. So unfortunately, I lost one of my Marvel projects. I'm so bummed about it. Hulu pulled the plug on Ghost Rider. I don't know if you guys follow the trades, but I was super excited about that, but not gonna be working on that one anymore. But still got Hellstrom though.
Sucks. I just hope they don't pull the plug on Moon Knight, because that's my favorite comic book character of all time.
No, we'll see.
So it sounds like there's like more instantaneous creation happening all the time. Why do you think that is? Do you think the production process is just getting faster?
The production process stays about the same, but as the reason why it's being competitive, and having content available and ready when somebody is looking for it, so to speak, instead of the traditional, timeline of doing pilots from February to April. We're now open to doing these year round to, keep our business going. So, and you're going to see that trend with all the other major studio, with all the other TV studios. I want to say networks, but the networks aren't doing that. They're the buyers. So
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
As far as music that Disney ABC uses, how do you receive music for your projects?
So, for me, it's a lot of relationships that I have with working small labels, sync people. I mean, the whole gamut, publishing. So, I have some folks. I get hit up, and I have good relationships with certain people and people that I use and I trust. I don't know if we have if our viewers were here for the last one, that, for me, what catches my, I don't know if we should go there yet, but we'll get there next. But yeah, I mean, it's mostly like the licensors and the labels that I have relationships. There's a few like independent artists that aren't represent that I kind of do some work with, but mostly being pitched by the people I trust.
All about trust, all about relationships, right?
Yeah, and I was going to jump to it, but for me, it's the people that send me quality options that are based off like my creative briefs. So there's guys, or not just there's folks that they'll send me 13 songs. I'll listen, to 2/3 of all 13 songs, and I don't have anything, and it's just like, and I've had repeat offenders, so to speak. And so that's just kind of a way that you'll lose my attention, so to speak. But, I go to the people that they're like, they'll put the time and effort into it, and they'll send stuff based off of what I'm asking for. And most of the times it makes its way to the editing room.
So it's more about like urgency and being helpful at the moment, like what you actually need.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I'm pretty good about listening to like playlists that get sent out. So like, there's a couple times it like workflow here can be like on and popping. And then there's times, there's a couple hours a day that I have time where I can just go through my emails and I'll flag them too. Like, oh, this guy sent me this playlist. This came from so-and-so and so-and-so. And then, I'll give myself like an hour and a coffee to catch up on some new music. And I always listen to New Music Friday too on Spotify. It's like my go-to. So
you're a huge music fan.
Absolutely. Yeah. I kind of got into this business from being like, I wouldn't go as far as an artist, but like my whole childhood growing up, I was 16 playing in the clubs. I had like three metal bands, like one Incubus wannabe band. And yeah, I mean, that kind of all died down when I went to school, but then I went to a recording arts school in Florida called Full Sail, and came out here to do the recording arts thing, interned at all the major studios. Like, it's sad because half of them they're not around anymore, but like Cherokee at the time, and then Conway's still here, Ocean Way's still around. So it was pretty cool. I got some unique experiences, but I wasn't getting paid. And then my boss, Dawn Solaire, if you don't all know who she is, she's a pretty big player in kind of the art in the world of music supervision. She's the head of music here at ABC, and I was 22 years old, I think, and they were like, "Hey, you want a job? It's full time with benefits." And I'm like, "Absolutely." So that's kind of like how I fell into this world, and just kind of, it took me a couple of years to take it by the reins, but I found my place, so to speak.
It's kind of a door that opened up for you, and you said hell yeah, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I always knew I was going to work in music somehow. I wish growing up though, I wish I knew about composing. Otherwise, I would have been a composer. They make so much money. It's a great gig.
How often do you use music with at ABC Disney with vocals versus like instrumental stuff for the projects that you work on?
Yeah, so if I could give you a ratio in a lot of the stuff I work on, it's like a 60-40, like 60% instrumental, and 40%, vocal. I will say that, a lot of this stuff, if I'm working on it in-house, it's because we didn't require music soup. It's not that like music intensive and, needing songs that are lyrically driven to, help support the show. So in a lot of instances, like I worked on Once Upon a Time, and I do Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's just like, just a lot of bar placements and instruments. But I mean, it was a cash cow though for, a lot of these indie artists. So I got to use a lot of that for that. And they needed to be inexpensive. So it opened a door with, a lot of people that I was able to get some spots in. But like on the Marvel stuff, like when I did like Punisher and Jessica Jones, we had some fun with those ones. So I use a lot of vocal tracks on that.
Rad. So we got a bunch of students here, obviously at Catch the Moon, all eager to make music that companies like yours can use. What are some of the types of things that grab your attention about a song when you feel it's great for licensing?
So, okay, can I go like project based? So, all right, let me like help the kids out. So like when I'm looking for music, right, and or if they're even like doing kind of like a cold call, like, hey, here's a tune that I'm looking for. What grabs my attention mostly is if like somebody writes in the subject line, right? And this happens, and like I have found songs this way. I found a promo for Nashville 6 years ago because of this. That they'll accompany their song with like either like a Tuesday night, so like a comedy night, or like the Grey's Anatomy Shondaland Thursday night kind of thing, and like they'll subject their song with something that I'm working on, so like that'll catch my attention. And when I see that they're putting that effort for doing their homework and pitching songs based off of what we're working on, that grabs my attention and like pretty quickly. And in most cases, I'm listening to the song, and if it's got a vibe for it, I mean, I clearly have two avenues of what I consider in song or an in-show use kind of song, or the song that's like got the promo vibe to it too, because it's totally two different like worlds in tone. So I'll either identify it for that or put it in my folder to pitch for marketing too. Sweet.
So once again, it's just highly relevant to what you're working on, certainly raises attention.
Yeah, it's important for your students and people. I'm sure half of them don't have representation, so that's a good way if you have connections with music supervisors or people like me in the more in-house setting, that you got to know their network and have an idea. Just do your homework on it, basically, because if you're putting yourself out there and you accompany that with something that they're working on and what's relevant to them, the most likely they'll pay attention.
Very cool. What would you say some of the current trends are in terms of the types of music that are hot for show placement right now?
A lot of stuff over here. I mean, look, hip hop's tough for us. Blackish, I can't even compare that because they use all tons of, like, we got a massive budget on that. So that's all like the big names that you hear about. But I mean, for us here, like Americana, singer-songwriter, not too country, but not a lot. Ever since Nashville left, like our country games kind of slowed down a bit. But a lot of indie, all not too much of EDM. Not, unfortunately for me, not too much metal because I love metal. Seldomly use that, but just like a overall like Hot 100 kind of vibe. And I mean, on the marketing promo side, like your top 40, like that's what they're looking for, is like those dance tracks, as heavy major, like in major key hitting tracks, so to speak. But for what I am looking for, it's like a pretty large array of music, I'd say.
Now, when you're saying about promos, some people in the course might not really know too much about like promos and how they play into the overall picture. First off, like how many promos would you say you do in kind of conjunction with like the different shows that you're working on?
Well, promo for us is a little bit of a different beast. So they have their own department for that, and they're really tough to get a hold of. But we here sometimes have an opportunity if something comes across my desk that I feel is just like absolutely right, they'll hear me out, and I send it over to them. That happened on Nashville for me like 6 years ago, and like a friend of mine is this solo artist kind of guy, and just you wouldn't know who he was or anything like that, and I was just like, oh my god, this one song that he has, like the hook, it's all hook based, like majorly hook based, and I sent it over to him, and lo and behold, they used his for like, it was like a 6 to 8 week like campaign ad. Like he just blew up because of that. So, but yeah, I mean the promo side things are very, very hooky. Big picture, like get to the point, like everything's in major basically. No minor key stuff on that front. But yeah. But yeah, I'm all over the place though when it comes to tunes. Like back in the day, before we got involved with Netflix and HBO and Showtime and all like the cable things, we were pretty like cut and paste with like the ABC network vibe with our shows. So it was, a lot of like Snow Patrol and like for like just like those like all indie like top stuff. But we're pretty open and all over the place now.
So you're always trying to like help each other out in terms of like, oh, I know this song, like maybe you have something in your head and you're like, oh, I know this would be perfect for a promo, or I know this might be perfect for something else, and you're all kind of talking together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we have meetings here all the time too, where, sync companies or, even on the label side, they come and, play a bunch of songs for us. And even if it's like there's songs that aren't in show worthy, like we'll sit there and like we'll just brainstorm like, holy shit, like what a great night for our Tuesday comedy night, or or dancing with, like, let's ship this to Dancing with the Stars. So we'll do our best to get that in front of the promo execs, and we've had like pretty decent but limited success with that.
Sweet. Any tips you'd give artists and producers on making songs easier to use on TV shows? Or is there anything you'd say that makes it really difficult to use a song you'd otherwise want to use?
I can answer on the second front. The first one is just tough because, like, you're an artist. You do what you have your heart put into, and but on the second half, like, if you're specifically working on songs to be in television or film, and don't go explicit. It's pointless, especially with network. Like, it's gonna have to be clean anyways. So just make sure you're always having clean edits, always have instrumentals available, always on the fly. Like, don't ever put yourself in a situation. I've seen this happen before where I've gotten, an indie artist song in on a show and we're on the dub stage, right? And I needed an instrumental. And like the cat was just like, oh my God, I need like 48 hours to do it, and got yanked out. So like, you got to always make sure you have your assets like prepared. Like, don't make the instrumental the day later, like get it done. I mean, it's as simple as ripping out your vocals, but yeah, I mean, have like radio, if your song's 7 minutes long, have a 4.5 minute version ready to go. Like, just kind of the simple stuff like that.
Very helpful. Very helpful. That's actually all the questions I have. I want to open it up to the group and see see what questions the group has. Feel free to like just throw something into the chat. Oh, here we go. I'm sure you get asked this a lot. How do you find briefs that like folks like you are looking for? How do people get kind of? How do people know like what someone like you is looking for?
It's not easy. Well, the briefs come from me, and those go out to my sources, so to speak. I don't publicly put, those out.
And there's a good reason for that, right?
Yeah, 100%, because then I'll get like 2,000 emails, like and then like, why didn't you listen to my song? Or, it's just, it's too much too quick. But I mean, God, that's a tough question. I try my best to like listen to everything. So like by the end of this, I'm going to tell everybody, like, go ahead and add me on social media. Like, I've already been like on the side, like giving tips and giving, I've heard a couple songs and actually put a couple in my pocket by now. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, for the world upcoming, like, you're probably not going to hear from me on briefs. But what I'll say though is be open to joining join music libraries like Crucial Music, APM, BMG Productions. Everybody's looking for, songs to put in their catalog, and then those are the people they're kind of like shopping you around, so to speak, and can increase your chances of, getting a brief or getting your song in there. But and if there's somebody I met through this and I know their music very well, it's blanking off the top of my head from the kid from the last one. Absolutely love this stuff, but I got in connection with him and got his album downloaded. So when I have something right for it, I can punch it in and try to get some stuff in there. So
very cool. What are your thoughts on covers?
Covers, man, I think they're a good way to get you noticed if you're looking to pursue a career on the artist side, not so much for the sync world. I mean, I guess, because here's what's going to happen though. So in order for, I think for covers to be successful, you got to do somebody not huge because if we're going to license it, they got to sign off on it in the first place. So like you might have best Phil Collins cover of Air in the Air Tonight, and say we want to use it, like he could just slam the door on it. Like, no, I don't think so, because I mean he's gonna get all the money and with the publishing. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I think covers are more like on the artist side of trying to become the artist. Because I have used covers before. What the hell was her name? I did it in Punisher, but it was with an established, already well-known artist. Would never have I kind of used a cover from like an indie catalog or anything like that. So
you'd say it just gets a little tricky because a lot of it depends on
I think so.
You need,
yeah.
And then some of it depends on like the actual artist you want to bring in to do it potentially.
Yeah, look, this is just my opinion on my side of the world. I'm not speaking for trailers. I think they have a whole different way of doing things, and that's definitely an avenue for that side. But yeah, for us here specifically, it's not too helpful.
Do you find here's another question, do you find like needing stems for different purposes when you're using tracks?
Yeah, so and I'm glad you brought that up. So like as we discussed earlier about having like your edits ready, instrumentals ready, it will take stems, and we're happy with that too. Like, yeah, I think that's thinking ahead, and whoever asked that question, you got good head on your shoulder. So keep thinking like that. But yeah, we'll take the stems.
Little follow-up on that, because I know it's something that's been asked of other people. In terms of stems, have you noticed like needing the stems fully mastered? How does that play into things?
Yeah, it depends on the use. So if it's kind of like a buried background vocal instrumental use, like if we're at a bar and it's a lot of dialogue going on and we're hearing that, not so much the song in the background, we don't need master tracks. But it's more in the needle drop world that that's where you gotta want some master tracks. I mean, I recommend you get your tracks mastered, especially like if I'm clicking on a song and you don't tell me that it's not fully mixed or mastered, and I hear it and it's like, okay, that's not really the quality I'm looking for. I mean, but if you come to me ahead and be like, hey, super rough, like we're only like on our first or second pass with the mix on this, I'll keep that in mind, and like I pay attention to the song. But there have been times where that the first half happened, I'm just like, oh boy, what's going on here? So, but yeah,
there's a certain amount of ear training that's gone on, like with you and all professionals in the industry, where it's like you can instantly kind of detect where things are, on a sonic level.
Yeah, look,
stick out a bit.
Not everybody. I mean, I have that capability because I went through the training of going to engineering school and learned how to mix and all that stuff like that. But I mean, I can speak for the other half of my team here. Like, that's just not their world. It's more of like, hearing the song and like the major chords, and that's like how we're kind of trained. Like, oh, that sounds like a promo song, like that kind of world. But I mean, I could I could get into it a little bit, like when it comes like to sonic levels and stuff like that, or knowing when too much compression is used on a vocal or whatnot.
But there's the quality of it, but then there's also like probably more important, like the vibe of the music and like what it's, what it makes you feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. Like yeah. I mean, the vibe, basically, the vibe comes from the briefs too, though, too, because like you know what you're looking for, or you're getting sent what you're looking for, and that kind of like coincide with each other on that. But I'm trying to watch these chat questions too.
Yeah. Here's another one. If we were doing covers, should we get a mechanical license before submitting? And then if it gets used for anything, the Music Soup will clear it for use.
I don't think that will hurt. I'm not a clearance savant, so we have a clearance team here, but I'm trying to think if that's like the right way to go. I think permission, unless like that's if a mechanical is asking for permission, then sure. But yeah, sorry guys, the clearance stuff's not my strong suit.
Okay, not everybody's an expert at everything, right?
But you know what though? Follow, like, hit me that question on Facebook, and honestly, I'll go to my licensing director. And if you have licensing questions, I'm happy to research them and give you a educated answer, so to speak.
That's so generous of you, man. Thanks.
And I try to help.
People are asking. I see the chat's asking about your piano. What's the deal with your piano there?
Here, I'll give you guys a little tour of what's going on. So we host live shows. So this is our ABC Music Lounge, and so like this is where we have shows.
Whoa!
You'll see, like, we had the Civil Wars here back in the day, and it's where. Let me get back and sit down. But the piano's here. That's our house piano. But everybody brings their own instruments and stuff like that. But yeah, like a lot of the labels. This is how we met Ed Sheeran like 7 years ago before he started popping off. But like everybody brings their developing artists here. They perform like a 4-song set like here at our office, and this is like our room for it. So it's pretty cool.
So would you say like it sounds like at any time like an artist was up and coming, for anybody who's an artist on the call, you say like just working that artist angle can really help you on like the sync front?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Let's see what other questions we got here. Any other questions? What is one of your favorite things about your career right now?
Oh man. And for me, it's like working in shows. So like I've kind of like went from like coordinator, or it was like music librarian to coordinator. And then like when I started like really like being involved with the shows. So now when I work on like my Marvel series, for example, like I'm really like, I'm in spotting sessions. I'm working with my showrunners and my directors, and the score sessions are like super fun. So like the work outside the office that pertains to the in-office work is what's really fun. And then just going to shows all the time too it's a good time. So it's just like an unlimited like love and passion of music just always flow into me, and it's cool to be a part of all of it.
That's great. What's a good show you've seen recently?
Oh man, I'm really into The Deuce right now. That's so cool, on HBO. Barry's one of my favorites. Better Call Saul is my like number one. Sorry if there's Breaking Bad fans out there, but it's way better than Breaking Bad. It's amazing. I love it. God, I'm a TV junkie. I watch so much television too. It's all I do at home after work. Like I'm in bed, I'm just like watching Netflix, Ozark. Goddamn, there's a million of them. I wish I could just like spit them all out like quickly. This is what happens when people ask me about bands too. Like I can't talk about it because like there's just like so much going on that I'm obsessed with. But there's a lot of TV. There's a lot of good TV out there right now. The Righteous Gemstones. Anybody watching that yet on HBO? That Danny McBride show. It's fantastic. You guys got to check it out. For all the Eastbound and Down fans out there, man, you'll like it if you haven't seen it yet. it's good shit. So
Thanks for giving us some leads.
I see some yeses there in like all caps. So yeah. The dudes call it. Yeah, there we go.
What's the best way? Got another question here. What's the best way to find out what a music supervisor is currently working on? It's kind of an extension to the question that was asked earlier a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good question. So, do a lot of our users here know about IMDb yet? Yeah.
I imagine so. Yeah. We talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a good way of, because look, I mean, that's how agents know what's going on out here. They follow it. They see everything that's in production, and from not even what's working, what's coming up in the head. But most of the times, the crew's like hired by them, so that's a way to do that. If you have personal relationships with any as of now, reaching out to them basically. I'm trying to think. I don't think I see anybody on LinkedIn like posting what they're doing, new stuff at least. Mostly I see LinkedIn as it's like a resume basically. It's just what they've worked on. Actually, I did at one point put all my current projects on LinkedIn. I think I stopped doing that though. I'm horrible with LinkedIn, guys, so I'm just letting you know. Like, don't try to contact me on LinkedIn. Just shoot me like a Facebook Messenger. I'm good there. But yeah, I think IMDb is your best bet.
Thanks. Here's another question. Are all the licensing agencies you go to located in LA? Like anything about like being in LA or things?
No, I got friends in Chicago, New York, Nashville. I got a library with some woman from Florida that she's got some really cool like some old like original 60s library stuff that I tend to go to, but they're all over the place. There's a guy in Arizona. I mean, it's just good relationships, and the people who I know where to go, because it's like each one has like their own niche, so to speak. So
would you say that like having a niche and doing something well is maybe better than doing like a bunch of different things?
Yep, 100%. I think so.
Yeah, that's what we tend to teach people at Catch the Moon. You've been so generous, answered so many questions. Usually on these calls, we like to screen some songs. Is that, can you give us like a quick take on a few songs?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. How does this work?
So the way it works is that, unfortunately, I think the stream, I just want to give a heads up, like, sonic wise, I think it strips some of the low end out of some of the songs. But I'll basically just play a few of the songs and
should I mute me while the song's playing? So like,
sure. Yeah. I think it'll probably help.
So like they're not hearing I don't know. You can.
It'll probably help if you're muted. And I could mute you before the song. With this, I don't think it really hurts because it's super directional. But
okay, cool. Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
All right, let's see how it goes. First off, we got Elaine Ryan, and we're gonna pull this up here. Give me a sec.
What's the song called?
I'll know in a second. I don't know yet because I don't.
Yeah, if I can get artist and song title, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
The first one is let's see. Song title is called Ships. All right, here we go. I'm gonna share the screen. Share the audio. All right, I'll mute you here, Stephan, and we'll share this. Here we go.
I met you in your parents' kitchen. I was 15. You wore a wetsuit, had flippers on your feet. Something in the way you smirked, how you tossed around your words, made me realize that I was meant to be your girl. The only thing between was the guy who I was seeing. Ships passing in the night, can't get the timing right. Wish there was some way I could know that things will go the way they're meant to go. 2 months later I was single. The night can't get the timing right. Wish there was some way I could know same. We talk as day turns to night. Things will go the way they're meant to go. Some things will go the way they're meant to go.
Just a sec. Let me see. Where are you? Here we go. I'll mute you. I think you're unmuted now.
Okay. Hey, yeah. No, look, great. I mean, good start. I mean, if you guys don't mind, I'll try to like spit off where I think that works. Like, WB, freeform, that kind of vibe. Definitely is syncable. I think it's more of an in-show use kind of song, not so much on the promo side, but overall, yeah, I think it's great.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Next up. Let's see who's next. We got this is Jesse Tom, Forever Family, and it looks like it was written and recorded here in September 2019. Brand new, coming at you. All right, here we go. Go ahead and mute you again.
We are forever family, here to share this life, here to share this time. Winter, spring, summer, fall, seasons spin around us, stirring winds that we travel on. Stars that cluster in the sky, there before our eyes, a familiar sight, forming shapes of patterned light, held by family ties, traveling together. We are forever family, here to share this life, here to share this time. This life, winter, spring, and summer, fall, seasons spin around us, stirring winds that we travel on.
I think you're unmuted now.
All right, yeah, hey. No, cool song. I think I'm lost in like just the vocal mix a little bit. Like, I guess maybe tightening up, like maybe a little off, like the delay and reverb on that to just kind of shape it and kind of put it. I feel like it needs to be put more into the song where the vocals kind of felt more away from it. But loved like the OOs and like the little hooks and breakdowns. I mean, overall, the bones of the song are good. I just think maybe play around with the mix on the vocals a little bit. It just, for me, it kind of got me a little off focus.
Very helpful. Yeah, it's always super important to have a good mix, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, got a SoundCloud here. I think this is going to play on. All right, good. I got it before it started playing automatically. All right, here we go. I'll mute you, and we'll jump straight in. This one's by Ryan. Ryan Holmetal. Ryan Holmetal. Sorry, I hope I didn't butcher your name. It's called Manic.
What you gonna find snooping around in your own mind? All those banished thoughts clamor to the top of your own pride. You thought that you had drowned the man when you left him near the water's edge. Turns out the old boy Now he's inside your head. Like you. Leads back to you. Turns out the old boy can swim. Now he's inside your head.
All right.
You're muted here.
Cool. Yeah, so love the Bowie vibe on the vocals. I think the music to me though seems a little misdirected. I think maybe I don't know. It sounded like a lot was going on, and I don't know if that was like really the mix, but I really liked like the vibe though, the vocals that he was doing. Maybe try to get a little bit more contemporary on the instrumental part though with that, and you might be able to find like a unique like thing out of that. I don't know. Maybe I think it could have been like the mix though through the computer on that, because it was just kind of, it was tough to hear what was going on musically, and there was kind of like a lot going on with like the different tempos with the drums, and then the electric guitar coming in, and then like a really working bass. Like sometimes simplifying things works out the best in a song too as well. But I don't want to like, you know, redirect you from, you know, your thing though, obviously. But I loved what you had going on vocally. I thought that was pretty cool. It's pretty unique.
Awesome, man. Really appreciate the feedback. Got time for a couple more?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks so much. So next one we got is Danielle Prayer, and this is Home Feeling. Let me throw this at you.
Home, 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 home. Something special in the atmosphere. Spellbound completely, nothing to fear. Want to lie down and then swoon. Just open up the door and let me through. It's there. Tranquility. If I wanted to in harmony, no matter where you are. Is that? Is that? Is that? Go up and go, no matter where I go, I still feel secure in your home is never, no matter where you are.
Cool song. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sure can.
I thought that was great. Cool in-show type of song for sure. Great job.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
I got no Simon for you on that one. That was good.
It's always great when it hits target, right?
Yeah, exactly. I actually feel like that one could work on a couple of projects that we're working on. So
Oh, sweet. Hit him up.
send it to me.
All right. So what, got time for one more?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, no, hopefully, you know, I think this is the third time I've been back with you guys. I'm like, they keep coming back to me, so I must be doing a good job.
We'd love to have you back in the future too, because
Absolutely.
everything
So-
on us is so helpful.
But yeah, I mean, look, you know, before we get into the next song, like, just remind everybody, just like, you know, when you're sending out songs, just like being, you know, like on top of it with your labeling and song by association, like we talked about earlier. Yeah, and like, oh my God, don't send me YouTube links of your music, please, because there's commercials. It's just a waste of time. I want links. Like, yeah, like I like the streaming option the best, like a box or disco or whatnot. Download's fine though too, but do not do YouTube, just please.
Because it's been something that's been a conversation topic recently is the whole SoundCloud thing. Is SoundCloud easy enough for you to use?
Yep. Like SoundCloud a lot.
Good. All right, so here we go. Last up.
Who is it?
This I'll let you know in just a second. Here, it's by Ruben Lewis. I'm not sure if that's the artist name or if I think it's the person's name, Ruben Lewis.
Okay.
The Very First Time is the name of the song, and let me pull this up for you. Here we go.
Memories of a lover now fainting far away, and memories of another just dusting off the hay. But you are like no other, imprinted in my brain. To the very first time, my very first time. When we make love, make me feel sublime. You take me back to the very first time. My very first time doesn't matter. Time will shatter. Some memories seem to come. My very first time.
I got you unmuted now.
Okay, great. Cool track. Whoever the vocals I like a lot. Can I like ask you, like, man, try to like throw that your vocals on top of like some like EDM, like not like EDM, but like think of like Disclosure, like those kind of tracks, like how Sam Smith did some like collaborations with him on, you know, kind of like that modern contemporary, like low BPM, like EDM kind of stuff, or some R&B as well. I think that is more of your fit. I'm sorry if like that's your band and like that's kind of like your deal, but your vocal style was more attuned to me, and that's what I'm kind of thinking, you know, just give it a try. But yeah, I didn't hate it. It was good, but I love the vocal. I think maybe kind of switch up your kind of like your sound a little bit.
Never hurts to have an open mind to maybe pivoting a little bit with things and see how it works, right?
And like you can do that, and it might open a door to a world that you had no idea you could do. So I've seen that happen before. Like I can't tell you dozens and dozens and dozens of time where I've seen it, like they went down one road, like whether it was like a girl trying to be pop and like try a country song out, and even though you're from Los Angeles, California, she did, and it was just like unreal. So never hurts to try.
No, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Man, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks everybody.
All the time we got for today. Really appreciate everything that you've done today.
Yeah, totally. And you know, just for all y'all out there, I'm sorry if we didn't get to hear your stuff, but you know, keep working at it. You know, writing music and being a songwriter is patience, practice, and time. It's not going to happen your first year. It'll probably happen in year 7. Like, I'm just being honest. It's just how you see things out. It just takes a lot of time, and go network, and just don't be afraid of collaborating. Don't do everything on your own. Write with people, because when you write with people, like we mentioned earlier, it just opens doors to paths that you didn't know you could go down. And yeah, that's why we do it. So,
All right. Well, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your week. I guess it's
everybody,
almost over, but have an awesome weekend, and everybody have an awesome weekend. And we'll see you next time.
all right, thanks, buddy. See you guys.
Catch you later.
Yeah.